Hey y'all, welcome back to living in New Orleans, Louisiana and the surrounding areas. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the cost of living in New Orleans. We're going to go through and compare it to US averages. We're going to talk about utilities, transportation, housing, groceries, and then at the end we're going to wrap up and compare the cost of New Orleans to another big city such as New York. So let's dive into that right now. Welcome to my office. I usually shoot out in the field, but we're having some crazy weather today, so I thought, you know what, let's just do it at the desk. Thank you so much for coming back if you are a repeat watcher and a subscriber, and welcome if you're a first timer. Please be sure to like this channel and also subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every single time that I drop a new video, which is every week. The channel's focus is telling you anything and everything about New Orleans, Louisiana, and all the surrounding areas. So if you're looking to move here, you're looking to rent here, you're looking to buy a second home or vacation home, or maybe you want to buy a rental and you want to know what to do, where to go, how it works, and see things and see around town. Learn about the North Shore of New Orleans, learn about the French Quarter of New Orleans, learn about the New Orleans area itself. Then you're in the right place. Please also, if you don't mind, share the videos with your friend. It'll help the algorithm know that we're providing good, valuable content. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. I've got my handy dandy notes today because this is like impossible to try to remember all these things. And as I said, we're talking about the cost of living in New Orleans. And what we're doing is this cost of living indicators that we're gonna use are based on US averages of 100. So when I give you a number, remember we're comparing that number to 100. An amount below 100 means New Orleans is cheaper than the US average. The cost of living index above 100 means that New Orleans is more expensive. And this data was gathered from bestplaces.net. So let's dive in. All right. Groceries. New Orleans score is 99.2, while Louisiana is 92.7, and USA is 100. Interesting. Now, health. Oh, and these are actually updated September of 2019. I know that's a little bit behind, but that was the most accurate data we could find for these. So just letting you know that, because as we know, everything's definitely more expensive today. By far, for sure, but it still gives you some really great reference points. All right, when it comes to health, New Orleans got a score of 85.2, Louisiana 93.9, with USA being 100. Housing, now we're using the median cost of the area's average home for both buying and renting, does not include property taxes or utilities, okay? New Orleans is at 77.2, Louisiana is at 62.1, USA at 100. Yeah, so that's really, really cool. That means that housing, whether owning or renting in Louisiana or New Orleans specifically, is much, much cheaper than other areas around the country. I thought that one was super, super interesting. Now, when it comes to the median home cost, this is updated as of August 2021, okay? The median home price is the middle value when you arrange all the sales prices of a home from lowest to highest. This is a better indicator than the average because the median is not changed as much by few unusually low or unusually high values. Yes, so in New Orleans, the average home cost, median home cost, sorry, not average, is $254,600. Louisiana specifically is $189,200. And USA is $291,700. Now, honestly, I can see that for New Orleans. Well, you know what? I would think that 254 is more of like the North Shore of New Orleans. I really would have assumed the median price in New Orleans would be a lot higher than 254 because of all the homes I know that are like millions of dollars. But I guess they're offset by the homes that are super, super, super less than that. Median price for Louisiana being $189,000. It does seem low to me, but the data is the data. And the average in the US of $291 I mean, I gotta say, it seems kind of low to me, but you know, my mind goes to New York and California and San Francisco and Napa Valley, things like that. So those are real high, but then you've got other averages that are much lower, or other medians that are much lower. So I guess it's all debatable. But all right, now with utilities, which is updated as of September 2019, Louisiana, of course, we're measuring that 100 number compared to, we're measuring the 100 ranking of the US, and in Louisiana, utilities is 89.9 and New Orleans is 87.3. So utilities cost you, I think, a good fair bit less in Louisiana or New Orleans area specifically than comparing to the US as a whole. Now, I found this real interesting too, because you know, we're seeing a theme, right? New Orleans and Louisiana are coming in a good bit lower than the 100 average, right? Well, transportation kind of blew my mind, because this is the average cost of gasoline, car insurance, and maintenance expenses. Now, I know in Louisiana, insurance is out the freaking box. It's insane. That's home insurance and car insurance. And so that's probably swaying this a lot. So listen, New Orleans, compared to 100, is 132.5, and Louisiana is 108.2. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, so even though all these other things are so much lower, those items are a really good bit higher. We've got miscellaneous. This is a cost of those goods and services not included in the other cost of living categories, like clothing, restaurants, repairs, entertainment, and other services. This is updated as of September 2019. USA, 100, Louisiana, 95.6, and New Orleans, 97.8. So now we're gonna do overall, okay? Overall, this is the total of all cost of living categories weighed subjectively as follows. Housing, 30%, food and groceries, 15%, transportation, 10%, utilities, 6%, healthcare, 7%, miscellaneous, 32%. State and local taxes are not included in any category. So we've got our US at 100, and Louisiana stands at 86.9, while New Orleans specifically stands at 96.3. I hope your head's not spinning with all those numbers, but I really hope that helps you kind of just get a gauge and a comparison of New Orleans and Louisiana specifically versus US as a whole. A little bit more numbers here, but these are a little more palatable, I think. So now we're gonna go by the average rent per month by bedroom size, data gathered from bestplaces.net, and this is still going along with the cost of living in New Orleans, okay? And we're gonna compare it. So if you're looking for a studio apartment, New Orleans might run you $768, while the New Orleans metro area might run you $783, Louisiana as a whole, $672. In the US, their median, $949. That's a big difference. A one bedroom is gonna be $906 in New Orleans, $922 in the New Orleans metro, and $755 Louisiana, while it's $1,048 for the USA. Two bedrooms gonna run you $1,065 in New Orleans, $1,084 in the metro area, $910 in Louisiana, and $1,278 in US. Now, what do we think? I mean, honestly, I would think that the average home would be 3 or 4 bedrooms, wouldn't you? Probably 3, more than 4. But so this is where I think the numbers are important, because most people I find are looking for a 3-bedroom place. So 3 bedrooms in New Orleans is gonna run $1,373. The New Orleans metro, $1,399. Louisiana, $1,173, while USA is $1,681. And last but not least, we got 4 bedrooms at $1,587 for New Orleans, $1,616 for the New Orleans metro, $1,356 for Louisiana, and $1,950 for USA. So let's compare that. So let's see, 1,587. I mean, that's more than a 20% difference between the 1,587 and the 1,950, more than 20%. If I do 1,950 at 80%, I'm getting 1,560, and the 4 bedrooms 1,587. So right about a 20% difference. And You know, in some ways you can look at that and say, all right, well, that's not really that big. But honestly, when it's your cost of living and it's your groceries and it's your gas and it's your housing, like 20% is a lot of money. Everybody works really, really hard for their money, and it's not as easy to come by as we would all like it to be. And so that 20% can really affect someone's budget. So it's a lot to think about when you're considering moving to other states versus moving here to Louisiana with us, where it's gonna be cheaper. And you know what? You're gonna have a darn good time living here because we know how to party for sure. Now we're gonna compare the 2022 cost of living calculator. We're gonna versus New Orleans versus New York. Oh my gosh, I love New York so much. Probably couldn't afford to live there, but I absolutely love New York. And I love New Orleans too, so it's kind of a hard one. But a salary of $52,000 in New Orleans should increase to, are you ready? $101,243 in New York. This is assuming homeowners. This is assuming no childcare and taxes are not considered. So that's crazy. So if you have a job in New Orleans, it's gonna pay you around $52,000 with that cheap cost of living. Versus if you go to New York, that same job is gonna pay you 101, but how much more is that cost of living gonna cost you? There's a reason why they're paying you double. So I wouldn't think that you're just gonna be rolling in the bucks with that extra money. So make sure you're considering that when you're looking at moving to different areas. So these comparison highlights are overall New York is 65.9% more expensive than Louisiana. 65.9. That's so crazy. 65.9% more expensive. Now, if I do 52,000 times 2, that's 104. So this jump in salary isn't even 50%, right? And I mean, it's doubled. So it's not making up the difference of 65%. It would have to be a lot more than 101,243 to make up that difference. The median home cost is the biggest factor in the cost of living difference. Wow, the median home cost is 156%. 156% more expensive in New York. Crazy. All right, so the overall index, homeowner, no child care, taxes not considered, like we said, 65.9%. Food and groceries are gonna cost you 17.5% more. In New York, I would have thought that'd be a lot more, so that's not too bad. Your housing for a homeowner, this particularly says that it's gonna cost you 281% more to buy a house in New York than it will in Louisiana, 281% more. The median home cost in New Orleans, according to this, is $254,600, while the median home cost in New York is $654,300. That's $399,700 more to buy the same average house in New York that it is in New Orleans. That's 157% more. So that salary from 52 to 104 is not looking quite so good and so exciting as we're looking at these numbers. Now, utilities are going to cost you 72% more in New York. Transportation is going to cost you 36% more. Health insurance, 25% more. And miscellaneous, 23.9% more that New York is going to cost you. Now listen, I am not knocking New York. I love New York so much. Oh my God, so many things about it. I love going under the plaza and that little food restaurant they got down there, and the best lobster roll ever. Oh my gosh, we're talking about all the food costs and lobster rolls, and now I'm getting hungry. Love that. Love all the shows, love Broadway, love the hotels. They're so cool. Got to go see Saturday Night Live in person. That was like the most amazing thing ever. There's just so many wonderful things to do in New York, and it's really exciting. But there's a lot of amazing and wonderful things to do in New Orleans as well, and it's going to cost you a lot less to travel here and a lot less to live here for sure. So when it comes to the economy, job growth in New Orleans has been positive. Jobs have increased by 1.4% over the past year. Future job growth over the next 10 years is predicted to be 25.1%, which is lower than the U.S. average of 33.5%. The average salary in New Orleans, this is a number that none of us are going to like. The average salary in New Orleans is only $37,000. $37,000. That is very, very low. New Orleans has an unemployment rate of 11%. The US average is 6%. So we've got a lot more unemployment than the average in the US. And when it comes to tax rates, last but not least, the sales tax rate for New Orleans is 9.5% when the average is 7.3%. The income tax rate for New Orleans is 6% when the average is 4.6%. So tax rates can have a big impact when we're comparing cost of living. So let's sum this up. It's a lot of data, it's a lot of numbers. Put all of it in a nutshell. You're gonna have a great time in New Orleans. They're gonna have a lot of great people. They're gonna say, hey, how you doing as you're walking down the street. They're gonna make conversation with you. You're gonna have awesome coffee. You're gonna have amazing green juices. You're gonna have a bazillion amazing restaurants to choose from, amazing drinks, cool drinks, like just really cool bars in the French Quarter you can go to. You're not far from the North Shore side, which is more of a sleepy kind of town than maybe the French Quarter, but it's not that far of a drive. And on top of all that, great food, great places, amazing entertainment. Got the Sanger Theater where you can go see different things, which is so cool, and the nice people. On top of all that, it's also gonna cost you less to live here than some of the other big cities that you can choose from. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We want to help you with your smooth move to New Orleans and the surrounding areas. I hope you've enjoyed this information. I hope it's been a great video. Please share it, like it, and I look forward to seeing you around town.